All right, welcome everybody. So, December 29th, 2023, we have in a couple days, we have the new year. And first of all, I'm glad to be doing Yoga Nidra again. It's been a while, actually, maybe two-thirds of a year since I've offered it. So, I've just any number of things that contributed to that, not because I don't love the practice and love teaching it. So, glad you're here. Um, I was thinking about New Year and the quality of newness and the quality of new possibilities. And so that's going to be a bit of a guiding principle or concept for today's practice. And also, later in the practice, we'll be, when we do the opposites in the practice, we'll be looking at some of the classics, but also in relation, a couple of the what are called the eight worldly winds that the Buddha articulates. Um, Maybe I'll just pull that up now, so so you can have a moment to look at this. I can send this out later if you're interested. So something that I came across a while ago, and it's one of those models that seems to be rich for reflection. So just this is sort of a compilation from different sources, so I didn't cite it. The eight worldly winds, equanimity is said to keep us on the right track in the face of the eight worldly winds. One moment. Praise and blame, also known as fame and disrepute. And the next one is gain and loss, which I once at Yogaville, when I was studying with Gary Kraftsow, I listened to a Buddhist nun do a Dharma talk about this pair. She said sometimes what you think is gain is actually loss, and vice versa. And then success and failure, and then different sources will describe it as joy and sorrow, or pleasure and pain. They ceaselessly change as a mountain is unshaken by the wind. So the heart of a wise person is steady amidst all the changes on this earth. Yeah, so, and that's why we practice Yoga Nidra for one reason, and just because it feels good. So I think it's kind of elegant. So what we're going to do this evening is do a short little chant to invoke peace. And then we'll do a short asana practice, doing familiar things, at least for some of us, in a new way, and see what can come of that when our attention is alerted. And then we'll go into the practice proper, okay? Yoga Nidra. So I'm thinking, why don't we just sit for a moment? And if you don't want to chant, that's fine, of course. You can just listen. We'll just chant maybe 4 times Om Shantihi, which means basically peace within, peace without, everywhere, everyone, always, all time, all space. Okay. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. All right. Good. How about if we stand up? And if that doesn't work for you, you could do this sitting. You could imagine it would be very gentle, very simple. But if you're able to stand up, and we're going to do something in which is probably for most of us a little more familiar, and then do this more novel approach. So we stand as comfortably as possible. And as you inhale, let one arm be drawn forward and upwards, comfortable reach upwards. And then as you exhale, let your arm trace that pathway back down. Okay, we'll be alternating sides. So it's your breath, right? Inhaling will lift and lengthen. Feel that through the side ribs. Exhale, coming down. Just try that again on each side. Mm-hmm. Okay, no rush, but when you finish this last one, we pause a moment. And now we're going to do the same movement, but with a different breath coordination. Okay, so we're going to move on the exhale only. So you'll stay and receive the inhale through your nose, maybe Ujjayi breathing. Then as you exhale, let the arm move up. Right. Stay there, receiving inhale gradually through the nose, chest, belly. Exhale, arm comes down. So again, what we're aspiring to is moving on the exhale phase of breathing. Inhale comes in. This will be at your own pace. When exhale happens, it's a gesture up. Stay for inhaling. And exhale, come down. You get the idea now, right? So could you do one more set like that and just really immerse yourself in your own breathing, one side and the other, moving on exhale only. Mm-hmm. Good. And when this last arm exhales down, we pause. We're going to, in a moment, move into standing forward bend. If it's better for you to do it seated in a chair, you can, or to put your hands on the back of a chair or the seat of a chair. We come into more kind of regular coordination of breath and body. Now we're going to inhale, let that draw both arms up now. And then as you exhale, bend the knees some, bending forward, Uttanasana, all the way to the end of exhale. Inhale, lengthen the arms and the spine, rising back to standing. Exhale, the arms come down. Pretty simple. Okay, so let's try this again. Stay a breath. So inhale, lifts the arms. Beautiful. Exhaling, when you exhale, bend forward to a comfortable place. And if you'd like, stay there for a breath cycle. Up to you. And when you feel inhale, again, lift and lengthen the arms and the spine and rise with a long spine. Nice. Exhale. We'll lower your arms. Pause for a breath or two when you finish the arm movement and just see what's happening. Okay? And let's go like this one more time. Okay? Your timing. I'll get you started. Yeah, inhale lifts the arms. Good. When you exhale, bending forward. Good. Stay a breath or two if you'd like. How does your back feel today, this evening? And letting the action, the internal action of inhale, lengthen the arms, spine, rise to standing. And then upon your exhalation, you finish by simply lowering your arms. Good. Okay, when you finish that, let's widen the feet now to about shoulder width, maybe a little wider. We're going to come back to this move on exhale only. There's a fancy Sanskrit name for it, but I can tell you that later. So we're going to inhale here, receiving inhale. And as you exhale, let the arm come up from the side and arc into space. Exhale. Stay there, breathing in. Exhale. Let the spine come back to center and lower your arm. Okay, so again, receiving inhale gradually through your nose, ujjayi, breathing. Upon exhalation, we're going to sweep the arm into the sky, arcing the crown of your head into the sky. Stay receiving, inhaling. Exhale, coming down if you want. When you come down, you could bend your knees. Let's go one more time on each side, moving on exhale, phase of breathing. This is your timing now. How does that feel? Sometimes I like to put my hand on different places. It feels like it helps. You're welcome to do that or not. It's just interesting to watch where our mind goes during the course of our breath. We'll stay this width now when you finish. I'm not trying to rush you, but when you finish, stay this width, or if you're comfortable, maybe a little wider. We'll place the hands on the upper back part of your thighs or buttocks. We're going to inhale, lift the chest, shoulder blades towards the spine. Then exhale, bend the knees some and slide your hands down your legs into a standing forward bend with a wide stance. Exhale down, staying here, a breath cycle. Long exhale, maybe you allow a pause after exhale. Nice, and then when you inhale, you're going to lift your chest, slide your hands back up your legs, and then exhale, just stay there and relax the arms for a moment. If you like being wide like this, you can stay here. Otherwise, you can bring your feet under your pelvis. Again, we'll go one more time. Inhaling, lifting the chest, shoulder blades a little towards the spine. Again, exhale, bending forward. Now, staying down a breath or two, possibly. When inhale comes, reverse, coming up on the inhale, just standing, and exhale, relaxing the shoulders and the arms. Good. So now when you're finished, gather your feet underneath your pelvis. Pause for a moment and just do a little, let's open your attention to the sensations of your body. A source of much pleasure and pain for all of us at different times, right? So let me see how we do here. Okay, let's come to, we're going to do a short little hands and knees. If hands and knees isn't good for you, you could sit in a chair and arch and curve your spine one way and the other. But if you're okay, come to all fours, hands and knees. If you're sitting, you can just sit neutral. And as you inhale, you're going to lift the chest and tilt the head up a bit. Exhale, you're bowing the head And if you're on all fours, shift your pelvis towards your heels. We'll call it child's posture. Stay here for a breath cycle. So as you inhale, you come up to all fours, lifting the chest. Head tilts up a little bit. Easy exhale. Start to bow the head. Belly flows in. Come into child's. If you're sitting, you could bend forward or curve your spine. Stay a breath in that child's posture. Okay? And then when you're ready, you could do that cycle again. Move on one breath, stay and rest on another breath. Good, good, good. When you finish, there's no rush. We're going to do a couple things laying on your back. So take your time and transition, lying on your back, your knees bent, soles of your feet on the floor. We're not going super deep into any aspect of this physical practice, just so helpful. We're in Yoga Nidra going from the gross to the subtle, so this is part of that journey. So lie on your back. Let's just, again, omit anything that doesn't feel relevant or right for you, but we'll do a couple of Dvipada, Pitam, or bridging actions, okay? So you're going to feel the imprint of the soles of your feet on the floor. Let your spine and head relax into the ground. And when you inhale, you push the ground away with your feet. Let your sacrum, your pelvis lift to a comfortable place. You might surprise yourself. Exhale, come down. So it's like, oh, I usually can't go that far. Or maybe it's the opposite. So just honor and respect what's happening. A couple times, inhale up, exhale down. We do it in a way where we're oriented towards a good feeling in the body, in the breath. Okay, after 2 or 3 of those, we can pause. We'll bring the knees to the chest and place your hands over your knees. If you have like knee issues, like meniscus, you might tuck your hands behind your knees. As you exhale, bend your elbows and bring your knees in towards the front of your body. We're going to now inhale, lift your feet to the sky, and also raise your arms onto the floor overhead. So when you exhale, bend your knees. The hands come and rest over the mounds of your knees, thighs towards the chest. That's all exhale. Then inhale, you're lengthening your spine, arms and legs. Feet to the sky, arms on the ground. And just go ahead now, a couple more times with that motif of movement. Mm-hmm. Nice. Okay, why don't we do one more of those? And if you want to stay for a breath cycle with the arms and legs extended, you may want to close your eyes. Long, smooth breathing, nose, whispered oceanic sound, focusing the mind more and more. Good. Eventually, the exhale, bend the knees towards the chest. When you finish, settle the soles of your feet down on the floor again with your knees bent, draping your arms out in about a T position, about shoulder height. Let your arms rest in the ground, your skull, your spine, your pelvis. Feel your feet. And now we'll come back to that new or different coordination of breathing. So we're going to now move on the exhale phase of breathing again. And the movement is exhaling, you tilt your knees to one side, the pelvis rolls, and you could roll your head in the opposite direction if you like. Exhaling. Then stay receiving the inhale here. When you exhale, come back to center gradually. Okay, so go ahead like that. Stay for inhale. Exhaling, tilting knees, gently rolling head. Returning on the exhale. We're going to go one more time on each side and add a breath cycle while you're in the twist, okay? So go ahead on each side again, entering and exiting on the exhale, staying a breath on each side. Probably on the second side or so. We don't have to be exactly together. We are together. We do our own timing. When you've done each side, pause a moment, and then you could bring your knees to your chest, and we'll repeat or do Apanasana. The exhale, knees come in with your hands on the knees, bend the elbows. Now keep your hands on your knees and just float the knees away from your chest, arms lengthen. Do this a few times. At the end of the exhale, when you folded the knees in, you could pause, let everything empty, and pause for a couple of seconds. 2 or 3 more times. Good. If you're just finishing one, you could do one more like that. Okay, and then when that's completed for you, you step your feet down, pause, and let's rub our hands together. If you're wearing glasses, you could set them overhead or to the side. Rub them in a vigor that feels good to you. You could maybe increase the speed. And then you can close your eyes and cover your eyes with your palms. One of my favorite things to do. Heels of the hands in the cheekbones, fingers. It helps me when I let my fingers relax even more. Shoulders soften. Enjoy a breath or two there. Palming of the eyes. In many of the Yoga Nidra body scans, the eyes are, not all of them, but we often start with the eyes close to the beginning of the scan because they knew that when the eyes relax, the whole person relaxes. When you finish an exhale, you can take your hands away. Just take one moment where you're not listening to any instructions of what to do and how to breathe, and just feel the response of your breath and body for a moment. So what I'd like us to do now, in a moment, I'm going to have you roll to your side and we'll do a brief seated breathing, and then we'll be sitting so we can set up our Yoga Nidra nest. Okay? So when you're ready, you could roll to one side and come to sitting. Again, we won't be here a long time. You want to sit as well or comfortably as you can. So we're just going to sit for a moment. So again, this time of year, a lot of Happy New Year, right? So that's new, new, new. And I was thinking, well, in some ways we could. So the beginning of a new year, every beginning is in relation to some kind of ending, and maybe that's obvious, but it was helpful for me. And how our, as we all know, as Vinny yogis, our breathing really embodies that, and, um, and each breath is new. And so I'm going to share with you, if you'd like to, a, I think, famous breathing meditation by Thich Nhat Hanh. So you can sit comfortably and you could just allow your breathing to be completely spontaneous, or you could use easy ujjayi breath, either just natural or spontaneous breathing, or ujjayi, whichever you prefer. So just begin with that. You may want to close your eyes, let the body settle. It's okay to wiggle and move around until you can settle. And feel the sensory flow of breath coming in to your body and going out. Now, a few breaths, if you'd like, we can link these two phrases. Inhaling, this is my first breath. Exhaling, this is my last breath. As you inhale, this is my first breath. Exhaling, this is my last breath. One or two more like that. Easy, easy. And then you could let go of that particular phrasing and just see what remains, what may have been evoked. The Buddhist monks, I'm told, every day they affirm things like, I am of the nature to be sick, I am of the nature to die. So they face these things every day. So I think it's not quite as scary, but sometimes for me, that this is my last breath, I'm like, no, I don't want it to be. And it's like, here comes another breath. Okay, got out of it this time. I just find it really interesting. It's very powerful, so I thought twice about it. But share with me if you're distressed by this at all. So now we're going to take a moment before we lie down, and we're going to consider what's called the resolve or the resolution or heartfelt desire in Yoga Nidra. So in the full practice, often you're asked to reflect on something that you would like to increase or manifest or decrease, something that for your own well-being or the well-being of another. Okay? The characteristics of saying this in your mind would be that you say it in a positive statement in the present tense. So, for example, you may take one of these or make your own. I have all the strength and support I need. Okay, not I will have, but I have. I have all the strength and support I need. Or another one is, I am healing, I am whole. Another one that came to me as a suggestion today would be I move in the direction that my heart calls. I move in the direction my heart calls. Or it could be a prayer for someone else in that fashion. Or simply, I smile in this moment. So just take a moment, see what may come to mind or heart. And you could, if you land on something, it's okay if you don't do it, but if you land on something, you could say it 3 times in your mind silently with conviction. Beautiful. So when you finish that now, let's take a moment to set up any supports that you would like or need to have for the practice of lying on your back. Again, this can be done really in any position or even moving, but the ease and relaxation is accessed most readily for most people lying down. So some suggestions would be that you may have a bolster or roll blanket behind your knees, or even another one underneath your feet. If your chin tends to point up to the ceiling, you could have a folded blanket under your head. Many of you are you're connoisseurs of supports, so do what you know makes sense. You could take a blanket and cover your body either for warmth or a feeling of protection, or sometimes the weight of a blanket is also relaxing to the nervous system. So take your time and snuggle in for a moment here. Good. So as you settle in, you give yourself permission in these first few moments to adjust if need be, to be 5 to 10% more comfortable. If at any point during the practice you feel some discomfort, you may want to see if it might pass without moving. But if the discomfort increases or if there's pain, certainly adjust, take care of yourself. If lying on your back doesn't work for you at a point, you could lie on your side. Okay, so gradually settling in, lying down in the Shavasana, the corpse posture. Swami Satyananda Saraswati says that the practice of Yoga Nidra is the act of hearing and the act of feeling. These are the only important factors, hearing and feeling. He says, in dreams you have no control. In Yoga Nidra, you are the creator of the dream. As you settle in, say to yourself mentally, I will not sleep. I shall only listen to the voice and the instructions. You could say to yourself, I am alert. I am aware as I relax deeply. Give yourself some time. Now you could take in a little deeper breath. As you breathe in, feel calmness spreading throughout your body. As you breathe out, say to yourself mentally, I am relaxing. Breathing in, calming spreads throughout your body. Breathing out, body relaxing. One more breath like that. Now become aware of sounds in the distance. Searching out distant sounds, following them for a couple seconds. Gradually now bring your attention to closer sounds. Sounds outside the building where you are, and then sounds inside the building, in the room where you are. Now, with your eyes closed, develop your awareness of the room that you're in, visualizing the four walls, the ceiling, and the floor, and where your body is lying on the floor. Total awareness of your body lying in perfect stillness. Your body is lying on the floor, and you develop awareness of all the physical meeting points between your body and the floor, between your body and the floor. Become aware of the natural breath. Feel it travel into your body and back out. And now counting 5 breaths, counting backwards, like this. Inhaling 5, exhaling 5. Counting from 5 to 1, breathing in, breathing out. Now letting go of the breathing, we're going to take a journey through the body, listening to the different areas of the body, bringing your attention there and noticing any sensations. Begin by bringing awareness to your right hand thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, palm of the hand, back of the hand, wrist, lower arm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, waist, right hip, right thigh, knee, lower leg, ankle, heel, sole of the foot, top of the foot, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe. Now the left hand thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger. Feel the sensations in the palm of the hand, back of the hand, in the wrist, lower arm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, waist, left hip, thigh, knee, lower leg, ankle, heel, sole of the foot, top of the foot, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe. Feel now your right shoulder, left shoulder, right shoulder blade, left shoulder blade, right buttock, left buttock, the whole spine, the whole back all together. Top of the head, forehead, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, the space between the eyebrows, right eyelid, left eyelid, right eyeball, left eyeball, right ear, left ear, right cheek, left cheek, nose, tip of the nose, right nostril. Feel the breath for a moment in the right nostril. Left nostril. Feel the breath for a moment in the left nostril. Upper lip, lower lip, chin, jaw, the inside of the mouth, down into the throat, sensations in the throat, right collarbone, left collarbone, right side of the chest, left side of the chest, the middle of the chest, navel, the whole abdomen, lower abdomen, the pelvis, Feel now the whole right leg, the whole left leg, both legs together, the whole right arm, the whole left arm, both arms together, the whole of the back, the whole front, whole of the head, together, legs, arms, back, front, head, all together. The whole of the body together. Feel the global body feeling, the body filled with radiant sensation, the whole body, the whole body. As you feel the whole body, become aware of the space occupied by the body. Become aware of the body and this space that is occupied by your body. Body and space. Become aware of the whole body in relation to the floor, feeling the meeting points of the body with the floor. Feel the meeting point between the back of your head and the floor, shoulder blades and the floor, elbows and the floor, the back of the hands and the floor. Pelvis and the floor, calves and the floor, heels and the floor. Awareness of all the meeting points between the body and the floor, the sensation of all points simultaneously, evenly. Go on feeling these points clearly, alert and aware and relaxed. Change your attention now to the eyelids. Feel the narrow line of meeting between the upper and lower eyelids. Intensify your awareness between the eyelids and where they meet. And then the lips. Bring your attention to the meeting points of the lips, upper and lower. Rest awareness here. From the lips, we now go to the breath, feeling your breath as it enters the body, through the nostrils, travels down into the body. Upon exhalation, the breath moves back up and out the nose. Tracing and following this path of breathing, inhaling comes in through the nose, down into the body. Breathing out, moving up and out the nostrils. Follow this path of breathing for some time. As you continue to feel your breathing, again we count backwards like this. I am breathing in 11. I am breathing out 11. I am breathing in 10. I am breathing out 10. And so on from 11 to 1, counting backwards as you feel the rise and fall of your own breathing. If you lose count, start again at 11. Counting and breathing. Now leaving counting and breathing, and awaken the feeling of heaviness in the body. The feeling of heaviness. Become aware of the quality of heaviness in your body, as if your body is sinking into the floor. Heaviness. Then awaken now the feeling of lightness. Awaken the feeling of lightness. A sensation of lightness and weightlessness begins to grow in all parts of the body. Your body begins to feel as if it could begin to float away from the floor. Awareness of lightness, weightlessness. Now open to the experience of cold. Notice any experience of cold anywhere in your body or coolness, or perhaps you recall a time when you were cold. You could imagine you're walking on the floor, a cold floor in the winter. Awareness of cold. Now the experience of heat, opening to the experience of warmth or heat, but the body begins to warm. You notice any area that is warm, hot. You could recall the feeling of heat in the summer when you're out in the sun with no shade. Heat grows all over the body, all around the body. Now, the experience of discomfort or pain. You could notice any discomfort or pain in your body in this moment. Or recall a time when you experienced discomfort or pain in your body. Any pain you've experienced mentally or physically, recall that experience. Then let that be and recollect the feeling now of pleasure or joy. Any kind of pleasure, physical, emotional, or mental. You could feel it in your body now. Or recall a time when you experienced pleasure. As if you're reliving it, make it vivid. And then for a moment, return, touch onto the experience of pain or sorrow. And then again to pleasure or joy. Now welcome both pleasure and pain together at the same time. Now recall a time when you were praised for something, where you got attention or good comments for something that you may have done or some quality you have. Recalling a time when you were praised. And then recall an experience where you were blamed for something or you felt invisible. And then letting those two, praise and blame, and the feeling of that be there together at the same time. Now withdraw your mind and focus on the space in front of your closed eyes. The space in front of your closed eyes. Imagine before you a transparent screen through which you can see infinite space, a space that extends as far as the eyes can see. Focus on this dark space, relax the eyes into it, and become aware of any colors or shapes that manifest within it, observing. Now imagine that it is very early morning and still dark, and you are walking through the hills, climbing up towards some mountains. You are alone. You're walking east, and if you look back, you can see a crescent-shaped moon low in the sky. Soon the sun will rise over the mountains ahead of you. Far below in the valley, lights of a small town twinkle through an early morning mist. The trail that you've taken twists back and forth on the side of a steep slope. It winds between huge boulders and over bridges suspended across deep chasms. A gap between the two hills gives you a glimpse of a huge snow-covered mountain ahead. You climb up through the snow. It makes crunching sounds as you break the surface and sink in. A glacier lies across your path. There are creaks and groans of moving ice as you quickly move across. Near the top of the mountain, it becomes very cold. Winds howling around your body. Snow and ice cling to your shoes. You reach the top, and a magnificent scene reveals itself before your eyes. To the east, a vast range of snow-covered peaks and dark valleys. To the west, hills leading to rolling plains and the sea. Visualize this scene. See the sun rise like a golden ball in the east, rays of golden light scattered off the snow, dazzling your eyes. Now look to the west where it's still gray, and above you, blue. Watch the sunlight strike the tops of mountains and move down their sides. Deep valleys emerge as the shadows retreat. Now you sit with your legs crossed and contemplate this grand scene, the dawn of a new day. Let yourself experience this for some time. Let your mind flow freely with this experience. Now bring your awareness back to the dark space in front of your closed eyes. Look into the soft darkness. Rest your mind in this warm and friendly darkness, noticing any colors or patterns that may arise. If thoughts occur, let them come and go as you watch the dark space. Now is the time to remember your resolution that you did at the beginning of the practice. You repeat the same resolve you made at the beginning in the same words with conviction 3 times silently to yourself. Now become aware of your breathing. Become aware of your natural breathing, awareness of breathing and relaxation. Develop awareness of your physical existence, your arms and legs and your body lying on the floor. Become aware of the meeting points between your body and the floor. With your eyes closed, develop awareness of the room, the walls, the ceiling, the floor. Any sounds in the room, or any sounds just beyond the room. When ready, begin to move gently through the edges of your body, moving the fingers and toes, your tongue across your teeth. Taking your time, no hurry. Let the movements go into your wrists, your ankles. Perhaps your head rolls a little bit to one side and gently to the other. And as you're ready, you could bend your knees to return the soles of your feet to the floor. And now we bring the palms together and feel your hands, whether they're warm or cool, dry or moist. And then you can take your hands again over your eyes, your palms of the hands. Enjoy a breath or two here, palming of the eyes. And then you could take your hands to your knees to your chest. And because we've been still on the back for so long, we'll do gentle Apanasana. Exhale, bend your elbows, let the knees come in. Inhaling, the knees move away 3 or 4 times. Beautiful. And after you've completed that, a number of repetitions that feel right for you, you could let your feet come down, and any other movements that may want to express, allow them. Eventually you'll roll to your side and come to sitting. Take your time. We're going to come to sitting and just sit quietly for a moment and feel the residue, the traces of the practice. Feeling your breathing in your body for 2 or 3 breath cycles. Beautiful. If you'd like now, as you breathe in your mind, you could say the word peace in whatever language you wish. And as you breathe out in your mind, you repeat the word peace. Few breaths, infusing the inhalation and exhalation with the intention and sound of peace on inhale, peace during exhale. Letting it spread throughout your body in all the levels and layers that we've journeyed through this evening together. Peace throughout the land. One more breath like this. Now to finish, I would suggest you could bring your hands together, either palms together or at the heart overlapped. And as we inhale, we just float the arms in a way that feels good as you start to move a little more. Exhale, come back to that heart gesture. Let's do this freely, individually, 3 or 4 times like this. If your eyes are closed, you may take the next couple of repetitions to let them gradually open. It's up to you. One more time. Thank you so much for being here, carving this time out. I wish you health, healing, happiness, something old, something new. No, that's something else. Feel free to linger and say goodbye or hello or share anything, or if you just want to depart into the night, I support that. We're going to be doing these probably once a month for a few months now, so each one will be similar and different. So, and share with me anything that you'd like to, especially if it struck you. It helps me to know how this lands. Sometimes Yoga Nidra is delicious and blissful, and other times it can be tough. So, what happened was just right for you. Thank you so much, everybody.